You do not earn trophies at the competition. You don't earn the medal at the race. You earn them at practice. And then you just show up to the competition or the race to pick them up. Happy whatever day of the week it is. And if this is your first episode in the series, you have stumbled upon episode 6 of the Reset in 20, which is 7 short episodes to help you reset your focus, reset your standards, reset your goals, and reset your state in 20 minutes or less. I want you to zoom out for a second and really let this land. The life that we're living right now is really the receipt for the habits that we've been running from a year ago. It's not from the goals that we set. It's not from the vision board that we made that we stare at. It's actually the receipt of the stuff that we did on Tuesday at 3 p.m. So welcome back to the Mind of George show. This is the show where entrepreneurs discover that true scaling isn't about hacks or tactics or slimy, sleazy strategies. It's about aligning your mindset. It's about having a message that's authentic and resonant for you to share with your audience and turning that into your marketing to create sustainable growth that feels authentic, that you can follow and see through and aligned with who you are. And today we are talking about one of my favorite topics ever, even though I don't like hearing my own medicine sometimes, but it works. And that topic is that small changes equal massive results. And this is where our dreams and reality finally meet. And it's not really in a 90-day sprint where we overcommit or we can't sustain, but it's broken down into simple, consistent behaviors that we actually follow through on. And so in today's episode, I am going to be breaking all of this down because consistency wins and intensity is overvalued. But I break down why the all or nothing has been sabotaging you and my progress for years. I give you my proprietary model, which blows every one of my clients, every one of my event attendees' minds, called the Wedge of Expectations. I've renamed it to the Consistency Compass, but same thing, which gives yourself a realistic floor and a powerful ceiling for your habits. I break down and show you how to choose one habit that if we fast forward it into the future 90 days, that you will literally be grateful that you started today. And I help you detach your confidence from that instant result or the dopamine and anchor it into what truly, truly matters, which is your intention and consistency instead. And this is so important because your future, my future, our friend's future isn't created in big, flashy moments. It's not created in one big swing. It's actually built in the quiet. It's built in those unsexy repetitions that nobody claps for. And when we stop trying to overhaul everything and we actually fall in love and start honoring small, intentional shifts, everything changes. And so by the end of this reset episode, you'll have at least one small, clear change to make, a floor and a ceiling, and a way to protect it on your calendar so that it actually sticks. And when you show up to the race of your life in 90 days, you're picking up the trophy as a receipt from the work that you started today. And if this is your first time in this reset series, I invite you to go back and listen to the first 5 episodes. And if you're still going, you got one more to go after this one. And I invite you to commit to finishing all of them and actually doing the work that is 5 minutes or less with each one that your future self will thank you for, because only you can build your life and only you can build your vision. And so if you are first here, go listen to the previous 5 in the Reset in 20 series. But without further ado, let's dive into the episode and make sure that when you show up to the race in 30, 60, 90, 180 days, that the trophy is waiting for you because of the decisions that you made today. Welcome back to another episode of the Mind of George show. And today's going to be one of those quick hits that hit me in the feels, because last night I saw a clip of Denzel Washington dropping straight fire. And I had to share this. I recorded a reel about it. I posted about it. And this one tickled me so deep that I had to share this with you, because the world is changing. And it's insane how much marketing and business and entrepreneurship is changing. And I feel like this encapsulates it so well, to the point where I had to write it down. It's exactly what I wanted to share with you. So let's talk about dreams. So we have to understand this, that we have dreams. You have these dreams. But dreams without goals remain just dreams. And dreams without goals ultimately fuel disappointment. Whether it's yearly goals, life goals, monthly goals, hourly goals, minute by minute goals. But dreams without goals are just dreams. They're sneaky little hiding places where we advocate our ability to do something differently today to achieve our results. And in this moment, like this exact moment when you're listening to this, including this exact moment when I'm recording this, our life is a reflection of the habits that we put into place under those dreams a year ago. I'm sitting here as a byproduct of taking my own advice after teaching the same thing for 8 years and hiding behind teaching it. Like, it breaks my heart to know, but I also have so much gratitude for this perspective that literally a year and a half ago, I weighed 80 pounds more, that I looked like I had it all together on the surface, but I was really broken underneath. And my life looks so drastically different. And people ask me all the time, like, what was it? What was it? And it was to the point where I actually put my goals into place and I stopped talking about them and I just started doing them every day. And my life a year from now and your life a year from now will be a reflection of the habits that you start doing today with consistency. Goals on the road to achievement cannot be achieved without two very important things: discipline and consistency. And between goals and achievement, those are the two ingredients that gets us there. Discipline and consistency, with one very important caveat, that we are unattached to the noise of the world or the noise of our doubts. And I saw Ed Milet say this, and I love Ed to absolute pieces. And he said, you must link your confidence into your intent, not your abilities. And so we have to decide what our dreams are and show up intentionally and consistently doing the things that we need to get there. And those things that we do, they're not going to have an immediate payoff. This is why I love Matthew McConaughey's book, Green Lights. He talks about delayed gratification so deeply. But it's about protecting the new seeds. It's about putting one thing new into place today and doing it consistently and keeping our word to ourselves at the deepest level to allow ourselves to look back in a year and say, holy moly, I'm living in that dream. I'm living in the life that I thought I never had. I have the goal that I didn't think that I could achieve. And it reminds me of a post I did on Facebook this weekend, because I've been very tickled with this concept recently, because I finally feel it. I feel it at the deepest parts of my soul. I have so much evidence that when I took my own advice and I followed through, that I can genuinely achieve anything. And it says, you don't earn trophies at competitions. You earn your trophies at practice, and you just go to the competition to pick them up. And when I was in the Marine Corps, the thing that used to drive me nuts, but I understand so deeply now, is they used to say, is you play like you practice. And so practice like it's the real game. And practice is not for other people to see. It's not for the world to give us kudos. Truth is most people are going to misunderstand us. Most people aren't going to see what we see. They're not going to feel the vision that we have. They're not going to feel it or see it or understand what that drive and desire is inside of us. And they're not supposed to, because it's ours. But every day we have an opportunity, every minute, every moment, every breath, just to keep going. And we don't need crystal clear goals. We don't need crystal clear dreams. They just need to be fuzzy. We need to have a direction that we want to head in. And when we have that direction, we reverse engineer it. And we don't try to swing for the fences.
We make micro changes. We make small adjustments. And we literally build our future and buy our future dreams and goals through us choosing these new actions. This is the core of the alliance, right? If you've heard me talk about our alliance, like it's one of my proudest places, but it also holds me accountable. And one of the biggest mistakes that I made for so long was setting myself up to fail. I want something different, so I'm going to try to go all out all the time, hit everything, change every habit, change every behavior. And I was just collecting evidence for disappointment. It's the small changes done consistently with discipline over time that create the big results that we never knew possible. But it starts with today. It starts with this moment right now. It starts by no longer waiting for the world to give us a permission slip, no longer waiting for somebody else to tell us what to do, but saying, like, today is the day. Today is the day I do something different. Today is the day I set myself up to win. And I just feel called to remind you of like one of my favorite models that I've created called the Wedge of Expectations. As much as I'd love to work out an hour a day every day, or I'd love to read for an hour a day every day, or be in my Bible for an hour a day every day, life happens, resistance happens, noise happens. But the biggest mistake I ever made was allowing the world to tell me that since I can't do an hour, I should do nothing. When in actuality, if I can't do an hour, I can sure do 10 minutes. And if I do 10 minutes a day every day, and I protect that consistency, the momentum built, and on the days that I have more than 10 minutes, I do more than 10 minutes. But the wedge of expectations is really, really simple. You just pick one thing you want to change. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's your sleep. Maybe it's how you make content. Maybe it's how you make connections. Maybe it's how you lead your team. Maybe, who knows, whatever that thing is for you. And you ask yourself, like, what is one new behavior that if I did it consistently in 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days, would create a drastically different result in my life that I can follow through consistently and be disciplined with? And let's say it's working out for an hour a day. That's your ceiling. That's on your dream day. And then what's your floor? And your floor is on my worst day. When things are hard, when I'm tired, when I'm exhausted, what's the minimum that I can commit to, because commitment isn't feelings? And your job is to protect your floor every day, to have delayed gratification, and to follow that plan with consistency and discipline so that you give yourself a chance to live in that dream that you feel so deeply burning in your soul and the desire to get there. But there is no finish line in this game. There's lots of adjustments. There's lots of shifts. But the most important thing is that we keep showing up consistently. And so that's where we're going to win the game. Because dreams without goals just fuel disappointment and give us more evidence to keep us exactly where we are. But we can start taking action when we can start making these small changes. We're going to start to build the confidence, not based on our ability, not based on the results that we create, but based on our intention. Knowing that the worst that happens is we learn a lesson, we make an adjustment, and we try again, and we try again, and we try again. And so I felt so called to share that today because it had me in tears multiple times in the last couple of days, including after I lost the weight and thinking I made it. And then habit slipped and it started to come back up. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. It's way easier to keep it off than it is to lose it again. And so let's get back to the drawing board. And that's what this looks like. And this applies everywhere, to our life, to our business, to our relationships, to our marketing, to our messaging, to our offers, to our customers. Because if we think there's a finish line, we're already losing the game, because by the time we catch it, the game's already over. And so let's fall in love with the process. Let's fall in love with ourselves and give ourselves the permission slip to go create that quote unquote motivation, which only comes from us taking daily consistent action to stack the evidence in our favor, to see that it doesn't matter about the results that we create. It just matters that we show up with intentionality and integrity, and we keep protecting the inputs. And so I love you to pieces. I hope you have the most beautiful day in the world. And if I can help you in any way, you know how to get a hold of me. If you want to join the Alliance, just shoot us Alliance. It's on the website. It's mindofgeorge.com/RBAA. If you want to shoot me a question on Instagram, you know how to get a hold of me. I will help you. I will support you. I will serve you any way that I can. But let's make rising tides rise all ships. And that starts by you recognizing how important you are, how powerful you are, and knowing that there is no other version of you. And you have the ability to achieve anything that you want as long as you put it into practice. You have the discipline and consistency to get there, and you realize that you're never alone in the process. Have a beautiful day. I'll either see you in the next episode or you'll hear me in your earballs. But either way, we're out.